this project is coming to an end, just as everything. And you know what else has an end? The life on Earth. We are pretty much tied up to the fate of our sun, which is a G2b type of a star. Is mostly color white, turning a little bit into the yellow side, and its main fuel for thermonuclear reactions is the most abundant element in the universe, that is hydrogen. As time goes by, hydrogen will start decreasing in the core of our star, and it's gonna run out of fuel. And these thermonuclear reactions are what keep our star from falling on its own weight. And as fuel start decreasing, it is gonna start shrinking, and the outermost layers of the star are gonna be expelled into our solar system, and they are gonna get expelled into a point that they will reach our orbit, and the Earth pretty much is gonna be eaten by these hot layers. This definitely shouldn't be a main concern, as it is gonna take a lot of years. Nevertheless, if we want the humanity to live for millions of years more, we will need to get out of this planet. But nevertheless, planetary exploration is not gonna take that much time, as we humans are by nature explorers and pioneers. Take the Lapita culture, for example. They were the first civilization known to get into the oceans and navigate them. There are records of them living in the coasts of near Madagascar, near Japan, and all these oceanic coasts. And these similar records are found in the dozens of small islands around Oceania too. So they decided pretty much by their own curiosity to get into these unknown waters and use the knowledge they were getting in this process to get to new places and give 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 wings to their needs of exploring and pioneering through new places. This this historical need we have, we also applied it to the space exploration sector with the first probes, first satellites and rovers that were thrown into the outer space in search of getting to understand better the planets, our neighbors in the solar system. And right now, it appears as if the race is even becoming a fight between the most powerful countries in the world. Right now, the Perseverance has landed in Mars and is giving amazing results. But also, some days later, Zhurong, that is also a probe from China, landed, and this made the United States quite afraid of what the other team is also capable of doing. They even asked for raising funds for the planetary exploration. Right now, our best chances are with Mars, and Elon Musk is already working on it. The thing with Mars is that it doesn't have an atmosphere due to its lack of magnetic field. Here on Earth, we have a great magnetic field that is capable of preventing charged particles that come from solar wind to get rid of our atmosphere. Nevertheless, the lack of it in Mars makes the atmosphere to quickly disappear. There is a chance that melting the poles of Mars could create a natural cycle that would regenerate a close Earth-like atmosphere, that would be enough to work on and to get the essential needs we would need to survive there. But the question remains to with how much time will it be there? An interesting thing to keep in mind is that not only planets offer places to be habitable or to even have some kind of life, there are also moons that are great candidates. For example, Europa, or that is a moon of Jupiter, or Enceladus, that is a moon of Saturn. They are two cryomoons. Cryomoons are moons that are very much made out of ice. And the thing with cryomoons are that they most of them have an ocean under their cover of ice. And these oceans tend to be places, if they are warm enough, to maybe be have some kind of microbacterial life. Enceladus, for example, that is in Saturn, it ejects some really powerful jets of water like hazers, and these hazers are even ejected out of its own gravitational pull of the moon, and the ice ends up being and creating part of the rings that revolve around Saturn. Around the universe, pretty much every solar system is created in the same way. So it is expected that every star that you see in the sky, at least half of them have planets. And if they have planets, they tend not only to have one, to have lots of them. So there even are more planets than stars. So better candidates, of course, that are found out from our solar system. The thing is that they are really far away, and that is the biggest um, concern when it comes to space exploration. The distances that are really big, and we don't have the enough technology to go to those places, nor our lifespan is that big. One of the greatest physicists of our actual time is called Alcubierre. He's an Argentinian physicist that has come up with some crazy ideas. He has shown that there is the need for the universe to have some kind of negative mass. Mass is everything that covers some space in our universe. The mass is measured in kilograms. Nevertheless, adding a negative sign to the equations where mass appears, there it seems that it doesn't affect the results. So theoretically talking, there should be some kind of negative mass that instead of having a gravitational pull towards the things that are around it, it should do the opposite thing. Mass in the universe tends to bend space and it creates gravity, just as the sun attracts the planets that are around it. Some kind of negative mass should do the opposite. It should expel the things that are close to it, and nothing like that has been ever seen. Nevertheless, if this is real and it is, and if we can prove it is, Alcubierre has a crazy idea to create some kind of spaceship that is capable of expanding and contracting space in order to not violate the laws of physics and still be capable the spaceship to move even faster than the speed of light. In his words, you would be capable of going to the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, and return to have lunch on time. That is some crazy idea. It is called warp drive uh, navigation, I think, and it is something that is going around the physics community right now. Lastly, another thing to watch out for right now is the commercial space exploration race that is also happening with Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson just right now that they did their trip to space. Well, they got quite quite above the surface. Nevertheless, they are quite far away from what Elon Musk has already done. But in some years, it doesn't look so crazy that you will be capable of buying some tickets and getting into a spaceship to go for your vacations to orbit around the moon and return. That would be amazing. Finally, I want to leave you with a reflection on our place in this universe. Just look at the picture that I'm showing you right now. This small dot that you see, this pale blue dot, is the Earth. Seen from the Saturn perspective, this is a picture taken from Saturn by a probe that was sent in the 70s. And the picture was taken because Carl Sagan wanted to see how small are we, not from out of our solar system, but from our neighborhood, from Saturn. Carl Sagan, wrote an amazing speech called Pale Blue Dot, and I want to leave you with the last phrases of it. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humble and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of the human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another, and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known. Carl Sagan, Pale Blue Dot, 1994. I don't often feel down, but when I do, I compare my problems to this cosmic perspective, and from this point of view, it they become insignificant. They even become ridiculous to give that much attention to. There is enormous joy in the process of getting to know new things. Ergo, as I always tell you, don't forget to be curious.